All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat, Volume 77, our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything news, reviews, discussions, state of plays, trailers, announcements, PC support. That's right, everything PSVR2 related. My name is AJ. What is up, you guys? Happy Halloween, everybody. Woo! Spooky Day is finally here, and I am super excited. We've got lots to talk about today. Yeah, man, gonna be sharing my thoughts on Phasmophobia today with you all, as well as new trailers that we've seen. There's some new games. A brand new game from the makers of the Room VR has been announced. I'm having trouble keeping my mask on right now. And that is right, I am wearing a mask because, you guys, I finally did it, okay? I finally did it. I spent $30 on this costume just for you. But I finally did the costume that I've been wanting to do for several years now, that I've talked about. And that is, of course, this is the swordsman-inspired character that I have in game, the legendary Samurai of the Sea, the Kraken Lord himself. Release the Kraken, the ghost of Tsushima. The samurai pirate, the legendary one and only to ever exist. And the reason there's only one that's ever existed is because it's freaking hard to keep this mask on. But this is, of course, Interactive Chat, where I like to interact with you guys and say what is up to Booju, the 6 feet underground game cat. Says, hey, RJ, ahoy there. Game cat, Berber cat, evening. Scott, the PSVR game cat for life. Well, boo to you, AJ. Happy Halloween, man. Salvador, let's go, baby. Guy Son, fist bump to you. Happy Halloween. Kill Artist, the Dream Weaver, game cat. Let's see, Hooked Worm, the Hoosier game cat. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I put a lot of thought into this. I've been wanting to do this costume forever. Yeah, really, really happy with it. I even wore most of this. I actually wore my costume, my pirate costume, to work today. It was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with a lot of peeps there. Twitcher, the Deuce Juice game cat. He says, dude, that looks uncomfortable as fuck. It's actually not too bad. It's just my mask keeps kind of slipping down a little bit. I don't think I have it adjusted very well. I probably should have taken... Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. We've got straps here. We've got straps we can tighten shit with, I think. Perhaps. Smoke them all up. What up, homie? Mark Pockman, Pringles Leaf. Okay, that's a little bit better now. Now it's staying a little bit better. We're good. Hopefully it's not too muffled. Stingray X. Guys, all of you, did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Berber Cat, Mark Poppin, Pringles Leaf, Guy Son. I think I got each and every one of you. What is up, guys? Happy Halloween. So good to see you. All right, enough of this funny business. We got a lot to talk about today, but look, listen, here's the deal. Stick around after, because after we do our interactive chat, our scheduled programming for tonight, we're going to have a spooktacular stream. That's right. We're going to be playing a bunch of different shit, we're going to be playing some Phasmophobia, which I'm going to be reviewing today. Just a short little, give you my thoughts on what I think of it so far. And then I'm actually going to jump into it after the show and check it out. But that's not all. This is no ordinary spooktacular stream. So we're going to be doing Phasmophobia, probably check out some Hellsweeper, some Metal Hellsinger, and all the spooky games, maybe some Madison VR, the spookiest of all the spooky PSVR2 games. So yeah, man, really, really excited. This thing is falling apart. But you guys, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. It's Princess Summer Scale says it's a Tsushima Battle Wake mashup from what I can tell. Yes, I am the ghost of Tsushima, the Kraken Lord himself. What up, JTB? Good to see you, my man. All right, guys. So, I am, of course, rolling some Metro Awakening VR footage in the background, because Metro VR Awakening, you guys, is coming next week. And yeah, man, can't wait to check it out. Review keys do seem like they're going out right now. They are out. So be prepared, because the floodgates are going to open sometime next week. And yeah, man, can't wait to dive into it. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but we'll definitely have some content prepared for you when that, and be ready day one, as soon as possible. So can't wait to check that one out and let you know how that is. But that wasn't actually part of the run of the show. But you know what was part of the run of the show tonight? Okay, we've got some spooky new trailers that have been announced that I cannot wait to talk about. A brand new game from the developers of the Room VR Dark Matter. Let's go, man. Dropping some great, awesome announcements on Halloween Day. That is pretty sweet. But first, before we get into the spooky games, you guys, there is one thing I want to address, because I didn't get the chance to on Gamescast, and that is, of course, this new Behemoth trailer, y'all. This new Behemoth world and story trailer. Holy shit, man. This is pretty sweet. So I really don't want to see any more of Behemoth, but they keep releasing stuff, and curiosity gets the better of me. We are game cats after all. We are very curious creatures, and man, this new Behemoth trailer, I just don't know how I can be any more excited for this game. Like, I'm already excited. You guys have already sold me. Why do you gotta keep showing even cooler, better shit? At this point, I just wanna dive into the game and just discover all the rest of the awesome surprises and everything myself. That is part of the experience. But that being said, man, I had to check out this trailer, and I'm kind of glad I did, because even though I didn't think I could get more excited, well, it's official. I am definitely more excited than ever for Behemoth, man. This is, of course, coming via the legendary developers, the masters of VR gameplay, Skydance Games, and who brought us the amazing benchmark title, Saints and Sinners, and Saints and Sinners Aftershocks, Saints and Sinners, the Meat Grinder update, Saints and Sinners 2, Electric Boogaloo, all the things. Dude, this game is looking legit. Now, if we do a quick breakdown on the trailer, I mean, the first thing I noticed, let me restart this trailer real quick. But the first thing I noticed in this trailer that was like, oh shit, okay, we're doing this, is that they showed off a flying creature. Oh my god, my PC's chugging. I'm using my older PC and it's having a hard time. There we go. Dude, look at this bat creature. I mean, not only is it like an epic battle with it, but then you get to hop onto it. We know a big mechanic of the game is going to be, fighting these giant creatures, these behemoths, and climbing up them, kind of Shadow of the Colossus style. But good God, man, look like being able, like the way that they show like the grappling mechanic, which is already looking awesome. It's like, this is like the new generation of Super Castlevania 4 or some shit to me. Giant bats flinging your whip around and swinging and shit. But yeah, it goes well beyond that. I mean, obviously we expect this game to have really, really good physics, really good gameplay. And man, the graphics, the quality is looking really nice too. I'm loving the enemy designs. They're showing off some parrying here, swinging around on the grappling hook and firing a bow while swinging around. Some nice little special effects here going. And of course, the brutal melee combat, which for a medieval game, medieval style game, you absolutely want some. Watch this. He just punches his head right off using his shadow power. That is so sick, man. This game, you guys, is going to be a lot of fun. I love what they showcased here in this little bit of like, I don't know if it's like puzzle solving, it's like light puzzle elements or something. But it's looking pretty awesome. So I had to give a shout out to this, even though this isn't a spooky season game or anything. I just had to mention it because holy crap, this trailer, man, has just sold me even more on a game I was already sold on. Oh, right in half. That is beautiful, beautiful, brutal glory. But yeah, man, looks like it is available for pre-order now as well, and you get some other stuff too. I didn't actually realize that, but again, I think one of the things that has me most excited about Behemoth is like when we saw this game a long time ago, it was very much just like snow. It was just like snow. Here's a lot of snow. Here's a castle in the snow. Here's the thing. But no, I think the thing that has really gotten my piqued my interest here has been the addition of like different environments. Now, I don't know the extent of the additional environments that they're going to be showing off and everything. But the different environments are showing here that aren't just these snowy levels. That has actually been one of the biggest things that has gotten me most excited about Behemoth. But yeah, man, I cannot wait for this game. I love what they're demonstrating here. All they need in this game is a chainsaw. Those like stalagmites and stuff too. Those are looking really pretty quality. Pretty very pretty sight as well for such a gloomy, bleak looking setting. Pretty good stuff, man. So Behemoth coming later this year. Really, really excited. Unless it got pushed back again. I can't even keep up anymore. I think this game's coming. I think it's coming soon. I'm pretty sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I can't keep up anymore. Everything gets delayed and pushed back and moved around and swapped over and then stealth releases. But anyways, no matter when it comes, whenever it's ready, you guys, this right here, swinging around and firing a bow, that is really, really cool. That is something that seems like it's going to be kind of like challenging, which is going to be sweet. December 5th. Thank you, Kill Artist and Dominic. What up, man? But just had to give some love to Behemoth, man, because that's going to be sick. Nihilus Ryan, my metal feline friend, thank you so much for the donation. Says sick costume, AJ, thank you. I literally, you guys, I bought this costume just for you. I mean, I've been saying for years that I wanted to be the samurai pirate based off of Swordsman VR, which is my character in there. Something I don't think is in, I've never seen a samurai pirate anywhere. Although somebody did point out that the closest thing is maybe in like a Yakuza game. There is like a Japanese swordsman pirate guy in that. So that's the closest thing. But other than that, Swordsman VR, man, that's the only place where you get the real OG samurai pirate. And yeah, man, I love that character so much. Really, really cool. But yeah, after years of saying, hey, I think I'm going to do it this year. I think I'm going to do it this year. I finally said, let me put my money where my mouth is, and a bunch of stuff on my mask, on my face and my head and everywhere. And we're doing it live. Well, actually, I was supposed to be wearing this Mondays for Monday's Gamescast, but it arrived late. Thank you, Amazon, for delaying my order. No, it's all good. Your customer service is great. You are forgiven. But thank you, Nihilus Ryan. Also got a donation from Sal. Dude, Sal with the 20 dono. Thank you so much, man. And you know what Sal says? You know what Sal says? Release the Kraken. Yes. Of course, my awesome one line in Swordsman. I would totally do more lines in that game if I could. I want to do more voice acting stuff. That's fun. It's fun, and I think I can. I think I could do it. I think. I've got Bubble Pop on my resume. I've got 3 games on my resume. I think I might have more. I don't know. I can't keep up. But Swordsman by far my favorite, the best, the GOAT of the things I've had the I was, you know, incredibly lucky to be able to do. All right, guys. So with Behemoth out the way now, thank you, Sal. Dude, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you so much. Making Astro dance. All right, guys. Now it is time to turn our attention to a couple other things here. Let me bring this up here so we can take a look together. All right. There is a game that has popped up on the PlayStation Store, and it's based off a very, very old NES game, but it's been recreated for VR, and that is, of course, Shadowgate, you guys. Shadowgate VR. What's the full name of it? Shadowgate VR, The Mines of Mythrock, has been officially announced. Well, not officially announced, sorry. It has popped up on the PlayStation Store. I think we were expecting this. This game has been said to be coming to PSVR for like 2 or 3 years. This game is, I think, like 2 or 3 years old, but it's just now making its way to us, which is all that matters. But let's take a quick look at this here. It says, relive Shadowgate, the first book in the Shadowgate saga. Shadowgate VR, The Mines of Mythrock, brings the hit adventure series to virtual reality. On the 35th anniversary of the original release of Shadowgate, you can now step into the fantasy world of Cal Torlin like never before, immersing yourself completely in this exciting action-adventure game. With Odin the Raven as your guide, and 4 difficulty levels to fit your playstyle, it's time to discover what secrets await the Mines of Mythrock. Now, I honestly, I don't know a whole lot about this game, but thanks to you lovely people in the Discord, I got a little bit of feedback. The reviews for this game are solid. It's got like a 7 out of 10 on Steam, so it's solid. And you know, a couple of the game cats, like Rody, shout out Rody, said that like he's played this already. He says it's about 6 hours long, and it's a little bit of combat and a little bit of puzzles. And he said it's really, really good though. So this is definitely one we want to keep our eye on. Seems like a short, like 6 hour adventure, dungeon crawling adventure, and seems pretty cool. So really looking forward to this one as well. Could be pretty cool. Looking pretty nice. So I hope the port that we get is a good one. But we'll have to wait and see because we never really know. But Shadowgate, man, oh my God. Like I've known about this game since for 30 years. I'm pretty sure this is like based off the NES game or some shit. That is wild. That is crazy to see how far we've come from the NES, which I love dearly. Like pretty much my first console I ever had, to now being inside the game in beautiful HD. Let's see here. But Quill the Game Cat, what up, Quill? I got you right behind me right here. Oh, and I've got some nice little spooky decorations for you guys as well, of course. Here's my little candy monster. What's it? Is there something in there? Oh, no. Got my little ghosts. My little spooky ghost. Got this little guy down here, too. And then, of course, got little skeleton man with the guitar chilling in the back. I'd play the skeleton guy. He plays music, and he actually jams out. He does a pretty nice little jam. The problem is, it's cool for about 5 seconds, and then you want to tear your ears out and rip your eyes out. So I will spare you and spare my channel from losing subscribers from just playing it and letting it go. Maybe I'll do it for the outro or something. But yeah, man. All right. So Shadowgate, no release date yet. It is to be determined, but it did pop up on the PlayStation Store. Obviously that is like a tentative thing. Like we don't know that it could be soon, it could be later. But it is definitely one seems like we want to keep our eye on. So moving on to the next story. This is a big one, you guys. This is a really really big announcement. After 4 years, the developers that Fireproof Games that made The Room VR or Dark Matter, one of the best puzzle games on VR, probably. I mean, there's a lot of puzzle games, so there's a lot of them out there, but this is definitely one of the more standout titles. Obviously, it was based off the Room series, but they have announced their brand new title that they've been working on for the last 4 years, and that is the debut trailer announcement today for Ghost Town. And yeah, man, looking at this, we got some love for the Room in the chat, as we should. This trailer, also, I must say, I found to be very, very impressive and got me very, very excited about it. Let's take a quick look over at what they had to say in the official press release for Ghost Town. Fireproof Games are pleased to announce Ghost Town, a VR puzzle adventure coming soon to MetaQuest 2, PSVR2, and Steam VR. MetaQuest 2 Plus. Development of Ghost Town began 4 years ago and expands upon Fireproof's experience creating the critically acclaimed game series The Room on mobile, PC, Nintendo Switch, MetaQuest, PSVR, and Steam VR. Ghost Town takes place in 1983 and sees players stepping into the boots of Edith Penrose, an Irish witch living in London who runs a small business exorcising the restless spirits who haunt the city. But after her younger brother Adam goes missing, Edith is drawn into a magical world of medieval cults and demonic possession, which puts them both in great danger. Can she unravel the mystery and save Adam before it's too late? The scope of Ghost Town is a significant step up for Fireproof Games in every way. Building on the immersive puzzles and atmospheric set pieces of The Room, Fireproof have crafted the puzzle gameplay they are known for into variety of expansive environments full of detailed world building with a strong narrative focus. In a first for Fireproof, a variety of fully motion captured characters who breathe life into the script and add a greater sense of depth to the narrative experience. All right, so a couple things to unpack here. Obviously, I highly recommend you go and check out the trailer. A couple things that stood out to me right away. I mean, obviously what made the Room VR so great was how polished and high quality it was. Its biggest downfall was really just its length and replay value, because it was kind of like a 3 to 4 hour one and done. It was a really, really fun game, but I think the length of it and the lack of like replay value kind of hindered its overall impact just a little bit. I mean, but you'll seldom see anybody that says they didn't enjoy it. So I like how they pointed out that they are basically expanding on everything. They are increasing the scope of what they've had with the Room series, which granted were, mostly like, short puzzle experiences on mobile platforms originally. But this is seeming really, really awesome. What really stood out to me, okay, so right away, you can obviously tell that graphically, this is looking like a really, really pretty game. But one thing that kind of stood out to me actually was the music, the atmosphere, even just from the trailer alone. I was really vibing with the atmosphere that was kind of shown off in this trailer. The music has that kind of retro, a little bit of like John Carpenter inspired music, but also, like I said, just the graphics and the art design look fantastic. And they start out in the trailer just talking about like the Edith person getting a phone call from the landlord of the building and saying like, you know, there's all this noise coming from your thing, like what is going on up there, and building some atmosphere, some tension, some mystery, some suspense. And yeah, man, so I think this game is definitely one I'm going to be looking forward to because, like I said, we all enjoyed the Room series. And this game is slated for spring on Quest, I think Quest 2 and 3. But it's a little ways out. So they still, even as good as this is looking so far, which I don't know if this is a CGI trailer or a rendered in game, but this game is coming to PSVR2. They're aiming for summer of next year. So we have a little bit of time to wait, unfortunately. But it was nice of them to at least make the announcement on Spooky Day to officially announce it. And it's looking really, really good. What are you guys feeling about Ghost Town? Beard of Power 666 says, this sounds perfect. Later, Stingray. Happy Halloween, my friend. Scott, PSVR Game Cat for Life says, never finished The Room yet. Wow. And Beard of Power says, The Room made me like puzzle games. It's that good. I hear you, bro. I hear you. If anybody understands what it's like for VR to change their mind about a certain genre of games, yes, definitely puzzle games are one of them. Working title was probably The Rooms VR. Lofty jumps in the chat and says, boo. Did he get you? Did he get you? Okay, Kill Artist also admits, wow, a lot of people walking the chat of shame saying they haven't finished the 4-hour Room game. Come on, guys. Come on. You're gonna need to finish it. There's even a really good hint system. But yeah, we've had some really good games. David Regan says, I've played The Room played it 3 times. Very nice, very nice. I think I've played through it like 1.5. Like I said, I tried to play through it again, especially when it had the PSVR2 remaster, but and it was great. I got through about like half of it. But it was like, yeah, you know, like I've played it before. It's not very good for replay value, but man, is it quality. All right, so hold on one sec, guys. Ugh. Whoo. Okay. I think the mask is gonna have to come off. Hold 1 second, please. All right. I don't know. It's time to get serious. Time to do our review. Let's see here. All righty. We're just going normal pirate now, for now. Because I could not breathe in that thing, and it was falling off and it was really uncomfortable. I'll keep the eye patch on, even though it's also really uncomfortable. All right, guys, but it is time now to talk about Phasmophobia. Now, there is a little bit of a sad story here, is that I had played this game on Monday or Tuesday. And I had recorded a bunch of footage that I was going to edit and showcase for you guys about the game. Unfortunately, I was really careless and accidentally corrupted my footage that I had recorded of Phasmophobia. So I never got to get that video out for you guys, and I do apologize that I haven't had a chance to talk about it until now, because it is time to talk about my experience with Phasmophobia and how I feel about it. What I'm going to be showing off here in this side is, you know what, Scott? That is so mean. No, I appreciate you, man. Hey, all jokes are fair game here for the most part. I could take it. I've been on the internet long enough and said many embarrassing things and said a lot of things I regret and had people yell at me, and your skin gets really thick being on the internet for so long. Quill the Game Cat says, did the ghost corrupt your video, AJ? No, but I'll tell you what, a ghost might have possessed a stun gun we have in the house, because every night now, ever since playing Phasmophobia for the first time, I have a stun gun in the house that it like the lights have been going off and on it like crazy. It has like some kind of lighting system. It's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on. But we're gonna dispatch that thing really quick. But anyways, so what I'm showing off here is actually last night a little 2-hour session that I had with Mr. Brian Paul over at Without Parole. We, of course, all of our plans for this game had just fell apart. My footage got corrupted. We were supposed to do a 4-player stream with me, Miles, Wes, and Brian. That got delayed for now. Hopefully we can still do that maybe this weekend or something. But I want to talk about Phasmophobia, man, because I've seen a lot of videos on here talking about it, and well, I haven't actually like checked them out, but I've heard a lot of kind of mixed results on this game, mostly negative, but some mixed things. And I want to just share my 2 cents on it. Just what I think. So here's the thing. I knew basically nothing about Phasmophobia going in, other than it is a 4-player co-op ghost hunting adventure, and it's something I've been really looking forward to for a very long time. But I really tried to avoid anything about it. This game mechanically, like just the way that it's set up, I actually think is pretty brilliant. The gameplay, for those, I mean, I'm sure like I'm the last one talking about this now, but for those who don't know, the way the game works is that you take 1 to 4 people. It is single player as well. From 1 to 4 people, and you go to a location. If you've ever seen like any of these ghost hunting shows, you go to a location, you have this, all this different equipment out in a truck outside the location, and you kind of pick what you want and you take it into the house and you use it around the house. And you basically try to narrow down what kind of haunting is occurring at the house. And you have this journal where you basically select what you've seen, what kind of evidence has been presented using the equipment that you have, and then it kind of helps you narrow down what kind of haunting it could be. And then there's like a little bit of facts about some of the different type of specters that you can run into. And then at the very end, you have to select which one you think it is. And then when the round ends, if you chose right, then you get money, you get more XP. This game does have like a bit of a progression system where you have to grind and unlock more equipment that helps you discover more and more things. And let me just say, this mechanic in itself, I think, is actually pretty brilliant. It's basically a ghost hunting puzzle game where you have to figure out and narrow down what kind of haunting it is. And I have actually really, really enjoyed my time with this game so far. And I've played it a couple different times and had a completely different experience in basically all 3 times that I've spent some long sessions with it. I've had a very different experience. The very first time I played, I was playing with Mr. Sonic and I think it was Mr. Sonic, Miles, and Brian. And it was a lot of fun, actually. It was a lot of fun, but there was one thing about it, was that it wasn't very scary the first time I've played it. Playing with friends, this game is not, to me, is like not that scary. And it was also very helpful to have Mr. Sonic there, who knew how to do everything, who knew he had all this equipment unlocked that we could use. He knew how to do a lot of the stuff. He was really good at it and basically helped us a lot. We still died a lot, but it was nice to just, for the first time, to kind of see like what all the different tools that there are to use. But then fast forward to the next night, where and I remember saying the very first night we had a lot of fun. I was laughing with Brian the whole time about, you know, some of the mechanics and everything, and fast forward to the next night, and this is what I was not expecting. I played single player, and let me just say, starting out not knowing what you're doing, playing single player, and going into this house in the dark by myself with very little equipment at my disposal to use, and all by myself, dude, I was absolutely terrified. Like Brass Lantern says, spine tingling solo. Holy shit. I was not, you know, I knew this game was supposed to be scary, but I really didn't understand it first because I was just having so much fun with the crew, with the gang. But playing by yourself, and especially not knowing much about how anything works, this was very, very scary. And I was very scared, and I was very stressed out. And I just didn't know what I was doing. And I think I lasted about 10 minutes, and then I just ran the hell out of that. I was like, you know what? I am very tired. I am very scared. I have no idea what I'm doing. I kind of noped out, man. I kind of chickened out, and that doesn't happen very often with me. But damn, did this game get me pretty good. All it took was just shit starting to go down in the first level alone. And I was like, dude, I am done. I'm not ready for this. Buju calling me out. Buju calling me out, knowing that I padded that out a little bit. I only lasted about 5 minutes in the house, in the haunted house, but not in the bedroom. But no, man, like I was really scared. I couldn't do it. So then there was the third night, which was last night. And I just hit up Brian. I said, hey man, like, you know, I know you want to probably review this game. I want to play this. I'm really interested in this game, and I want to do. So the footage you're seeing now is just me and Brian. And let me just say, this was the third experience that I had with this, where both of us, Brian and I, did not know much about how to play, did not know how to play this game, but we wanted to, because we really like horror games. We really like haunted houses. We really like ghost hunting. Some of our favorite movies are Grave Encounters. And I watched a bunch of Ghost Adventures 15, 20 years ago. And I don't believe in ghosts, to be honest with you. I don't believe in ghosts. They're not real. But I still love like spiritual haunting movies, supernatural phenomenons, things like that. I am very intrigued by it. If I've always said that if I was, if ghosts were real, I would 100% become a Ghostbuster in real life, or one of these ghost hunters like this. So it was really awesome to kind of get to finally experience this. And let me tell you, man, Brian and I took this very serious when we were doing it. We were like, we're going to figure out, you know, we're going to learn this organically. We're going to learn this organically. We're going to figure out how to use the equipment. We're kind of testing different equipment. We're marking off different signals that we're receiving, crossing out things that don't work, some of the equipment that doesn't work. Because that's the beauty of this game, in trying to figure out what the haunting is going through using the equipment. Some of it works and you mark it, some of it doesn't, and you mark it, and it keeps narrowing down what you have. And then on top top of this, the additional information that it gives you about the hauntings tells you about the different the strengths of the hauntings, the weaknesses of the hauntings, and then also like tells you like what they react to, what makes them angry, what makes them scared, all this different things. There's actually a really deep system here that I really appreciate. I love deep gameplay mechanics and things to discover like that. And oh my God, you guys, like I was having so much fun just going around, and we were, like I said, we were treating this like this was our freaking day job. Like we were like, okay, like you're reading about everything and like I said, and discovering, and so at first it didn't go so well. Like we got the shit kicked out of us. I love that, like how once somebody dies, there was a moment in this where there's moments that these events that happen where once you trigger or piss off a ghost, it will start hunting you. And what happens is like it'll slam the front door shut, and then it'll start running after you, and you basically have to break the line of sight and you have to hide. And so like one of our popular spots in the first level is this closet in the first room. And I immediately ran, thank you to Brian to introducing me to that room, by the way, because that's been like my safe place. But I was hiding in the room, and you have these walkie-talkies for when you get separated, and you can chat with each other. And I was like, Brian, are you still alive? And like no response. I was like, Brian, are you still alive? And then I look up, and there's a floating book next to me. And this is what happens is when one of the players dies, they actually get to stay in the level. You can't hear each other. Well, the dead player can still hear everything going on and see and walk around freely in the location, but the player that's still alive cannot see or hear anything. So you can't like help each other that way. But then the dead player can interact with some of the objects. They can pick up like books and shoes and cups and plates and do stuff and just kind of mess around. But I'm sitting there in the closet. I'm like, Brian, are you alive? Brian, respond. And then I look up and I see this book, and this book goes like shaking left and right, like no. Oh man, that was just, oh my God, that was a really, really funny moment. It had me cracking up. I was like, oh, but anyways, but yeah, so there's more to it though, man. There's so much here. And I'm not going to go into like every last little thing. But I think the biggest surprise to me is like how much I enjoyed the puzzle elements. We always talk about how much I hate puzzle games. But this is such a cool and fun and creative way to do a puzzle game. And it's obviously can be very scary as well. I think with multiplayer, it's not very scary, but it is still fun and it is challenging, which I really like. But single player, good Lord, it is definitely a terrifying time. Even Brian and I, we got spooked a little bit playing. It wasn't super scary to me. Brian got jump scared really bad and got scared pretty bad, even with both of us playing. Okay, so overall, man, I have been extremely positive on Phasmophobia, despite what most people have saying. But here's the thing. This game, although I think is brilliant, is a ton of fun, and is a wonderful experience on paper. This game has some major launch issues, and that is what the majority of what you're hearing about has been online. Most of the discourse surrounding this game has been negative because there are some pretty bad bugs. This game is a really fun game, but it is extremely rough around the edges, and that can completely hinder your experience, depending on your tolerance, your threshold for what kind of bugs and jank you can deal with. I have a pretty high tolerance for this thing and was just having too much fun to where I was able to get through it. And sometimes I had a really good time, very minor bugs, very minor issues. But this experience last night, even though I still had fun, I did encounter a bunch of issues as well. Chief Sits, arg, matey. What is up, guys? So good to see you. Thank you all for joining, man, and joining in. Last night, I definitely had some new issues that I did not have the first time, and I don't know why. And I probably could have tried like restarting and stuff, but here's the big issues with this game. So first of all, one thing I do want to address is that a lot of people were talking about the graphics and how bad the graphical quality is. I don't know the exact things that were being said about the graphics, but honestly, the graphics to me look fine. I think the worst things about the graphics is like there is some shimmering here and there. And there are some low res textures. And then I think aside from the shimmering and low res textures, there is a little bit of the Mura that happens in some of the dark places. And those are the big three. But I think overall, like, I think it's very serviceable. I actually don't mind the way this game looks one bit. Aside from some of the things I mentioned, mainly some of the Mura and some of the parts, and then you know, some of the low res textures were kind of laughably bad. But the biggest problem here is really the jank and some of the bugs with the controls. The biggest problems I've encountered was last night. This was something I had never encountered before, but my tracking was like getting lost like every maybe 5 minutes, maybe even more often than that. Luckily, I was able to play through it, but I don't think most people would be able to tolerate what I encountered last night. Granted, I didn't encounter it always, but I did last night, and it was definitely bad. It never caused me to die. It never caused me to break the game for me. But I could see that being very problematic for a lot of people. The other thing is like performance wise, like opening the doors, definitely opening the doors is a little rough. There's not a lot of physical interaction. I mean, there is a lot of stuff you can interact with in this game, but the way that it does it, it's I don't know, it's strange. Opening doors is kind of rough. You have to like always push them open, it seems, and like you have to walk forward when you do it, and it gets kind of stuck. The doors need some work, but other than like, you know, like these are big issues that need to be addressed. I think these are the biggest flaws this game has, and they need to get some hot fixes out for this ASAP. I think if they can eliminate the tracking issue and then get a little work done on those doors and those interacting with those doors, everything else I think is pretty serviceable and can be played through. And like I said, unless you just want the most polished game ever, if that's the only thing you can tolerate, then yeah, stay far away from this game. But overall, man, I've actually been having an absolute blast with this game, despite the bugs and jank. I really have enjoyed this game, and there's a lot, like I mentioned before, there's a nice long grindy progression system here to like unlock and earn money and level up and get new equipment that I'm really looking forward to doing. Okay, so really, guys, that's my biggest thoughts on Phasmophobia. I am really enjoying this game. I think for $20, you could do worse, but it is, you know, I completely understand people, you know, wanting to wait and hold off for a more polished experience, or at least till they get some bug fixes going here. But I think once they do, then I think this is like will be an absolute must have, whether it's solo or co-op. Co-op is obviously more fun. Solo is more scary, depending on what you like. But yeah, man, I've honestly really liked this game. But again, I don't blame people for not wanting to jump in just yet. So let's turn it over to the chat real quick. I've missed a lot of comments from you guys. Let's see here. Some of you are talking about some paranormal experiences you've had in real life. Talking about you've had ghosts and demons in your house. Again, you know, everybody's experience different. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not. I've been to haunted locations. It was all bullshit to sell you stuff. So I am a very high skeptic of that stuff existing. But I do believe in science, and I do believe I am very spiritual in many ways, and I still ain't seen shit. So not that I've gone out really looking for that stuff, but I've never experienced anything myself. So I remain skeptical, non-believer. Thomas Richard says, just join the stream. Is that a Lane Meyer costume? It'd be a damn shame if someone was throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that. I don't know. I don't understand that reference. I don't know who Lane Meyer is. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Too many trick-or-treating beers. Just noticed the eye patch and earrings. Oh, cheers, man. I'm not having any of my Oktoberfest beers tonight, but yeah. Prentice Summer Scales, the mid-air floating object left me paralyzed with fright for the first time, but I eventually worked out it was a dead ghost hunter. Seems a lot of people are still lost on how to actually play the game that I've reviewed it early. Andrew C, that is something that I made sure to do. Was I really wanted to understand this game before coming and talking about it. Yeah, I definitely have a good understanding of how it works and everything. And like I said, I think it's actually on paper by design is actually really brilliant. It's pretty sweet. Let's see here. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life says, I'll play it, but I'll wait for a couple updates before jump in. Fair enough. I think that's a good idea. MRI Gamer's also waiting on an update. Same with Kill Artist. Andrew C says, oh, the door physics, they changed this update, and I don't agree with them. It used to work just fine. Well, that is strange, because the doors are terrible right now. I still play through it. You know, I could still play through it, but yeah, I definitely had some issues with the doors. Kill Artist says, this will be a great Sunday multiplayer game. Yes, absolutely. Salvador says, AJ, quick question. Do you believe in aliens, though? Of course. I am definitely, like I said, a man of science. I do believe in aliens. However, not the aliens that are portrayed in movies and TV shows, flying saucers and you know, sticking stuff up people's bums. No, I don't believe in those aliens, but I do believe in stuff like the possibility of some kind of life living outside of planet Earth organically. Even if it's a bacteria on a meteor or something, I do believe in those kinds of aliens for sure, but not necessarily the Area 51, you know, gray people or whatever they call them. Andrew C says, I look up recommending some tutorials. Oh, Beard of Power says, is it easy to learn playing solo? No, it's not easy to play a level and learn and figure out. It is very difficult and it is very scary, but there is a lobby, and what yeah, I'd maybe at the most, I wouldn't spoil everything, but I would look up maybe just a beginner's guide, just the basic things you need to know as to how to play, because without that, it's kind of hard to figure out. If there's just a beginner's tips guide, I would definitely recommend it. The other option would be to go into the lobby and and kind of read the book, pull out your journal and read the journal about the ghosts, learn about them or whatever. Or just play with some people that know how to play. That's, I think playing with some people to kind of get you going would be the best way. Unless you just want to be absolutely scared shitless, then sure, go play by yourself. Scott says, you might not believe in ghosts, AJ, but ghosts believe in you. Boo! Woo! Quill the Game Cat, random one, finally finished Vertigo 2. Wow, what a ride. So much original. Yeah, that was a pretty fun one. Also very buggy and janky, but still very fun. Beard of Power, I don't think playing with experienced people would hurt too bad. They get you started. But yeah, man, like I said, overall, this game is actually really, really awesome, but it is also very rough around the edges. So I would probably, if you don't mind, that's my verdict right now, is like, if you don't mind the bugs and jank, you're still going to have a really fun time. But know that there's going to be some pretty big bugs and jank starting out. More experienced VR vets are going to be used to this thing, are going to know how to work through it. I definitely have been able to work through it, although I could see at some point running into an encounter or something where the jankiness makes it too hard to play. That's going to hurt. I really only think they need a couple patches to be able to say, okay, go ahead and jump in. It's ready. I think they only need a couple patches to make this game ready to dive in. But it's going to need those patches for everybody. Mark Poppin Pringles Leaf says, what's your score out of 10, AJ? Oh, that's a difficult one. I think I have to go for like the technical side of things, because of the issues. I'd say probably, if I'm being objective as possible, like a 6 out of 10, maybe even lower. Like I said, the experience can vary. But for me personally, what I've had with the experience, being able to work through the bugs and stuff, like an 8 out of 10 experience. But that is definitely forgiving a lot of its sins. And that is not okay for a lot of people. And so I think a lot of the issues are justified, justifiably upset. People are justifiably upset about a lot of the issues, but I wouldn't go and just like, I think this game deserves a chance to get its shit together. I think this game 100% deserves a chance to get its shit together and get a little bit more polished, get a little cleaned up. Because like I said, there's nothing else that I've ever played like it. And it is a lot of fun, when it's working, a lot of fun and super cool and very replayable. I mean, I could replay that first level alone so many times, and they've designed it in a way where it's very, very replayable. Between difficulty levels, there's special events going on right now that make it harder. And playing with friends is different. And yeah, like, even though some of the ghosts and specters, they look the same, you have to go by what they're reacting to, how they're reacting, what equipment is pinging them, is affecting them. Because yeah, Brian and I were talking about that last night. We're like, okay, we saw this guy, so we know that this is this one. Well, then we saw it again in the next level, and then it turned out it was completely different. But dude, this game is sick, man. Give it a little time to get cleaned up. Don't count these guys out yet. Do not do that. That would be a huge mistake. Do not count them out. They deserve a chance to get this going. And I'm going to be definitely following along, waiting for some updates, because I'm just having a lot of fun with this game. And but it does need some more time in the oven for sure. So don't count them out, man. Give this game a chance. If you have a high tolerance, if you're able to endure a lot of stuff, then a lot of bugs and jank, then go ahead and dive in now. It's only $20. I think $20 is actually a pretty good price point for once it's fixed, completely, but yeah, man, fully, lots of features, fully featured games. Feels like a good price. $20 is a good price for this game once they get the bugs fixed. But I am having a hell of a time with this. And like I said, after the stream, we're going to do a spectacular Halloween stream and have some fun. We're going to be kicking things off with Phasmophobia. So we'll kind of see it. We'll get to experience this together and see what it's like. I'm going to be playing solo, so it's probably going to be very scary and difficult, and I'm probably going to die over and over, but we'll see. The best part, the most satisfying thing about playing with Brian last night was that we stuck with it. We did not give up, and we, at the very end of the stream, or at the very end of our session, we finally solved one, and that was incredibly satisfying. But then, of course, after we went back to the lobby, then we couldn't hear each other, and it was messed up. So, but yeah, man, Andrew C. going to bat hard for Phasmophobia. I'm with you, brother. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, they do need to get it cleaned up. So. Oh, but that is my thoughts on Phasmophobia right now, you guys. I hope that summarizes it well, its current state. Hopefully they get some patches rolling really, really soon. And we're going to be checking it out after the stream and seeing, what happens. We're going to see what kind of experience we have this time. Is it going to be a good one? Is it going to be a bad one? Is it going to be great? We'll find out. But we're not done yet, guys, because we have one more thing to go through. If you don't want to buy Phasmophobia just yet, if you want to wait for something a little bit more polished, well, I have prepared something for you because there are some games currently on sale on PSN, and I'm going to go through and give the thumbs up, thumbs down, what I think you should be picking up for spooky season. Starting with probably the best game you could get, Resident Evil 4 is $19.99 right now. We are kicking things off with a huge thumbs up, and also feel free to give a thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. Let me know. Let other people. We got all of our opinions here. Let's combine forces and let me know if you would also recommend these games. I'm pretty sure most of you would recommend Resident Evil 4 at $19.99. Next up, we've got an even sicker deal, and this is maybe even a better spooky season game because it's a little scarier, and that is Resident Evil Village for $15.99. Huge thumbs up. I still, to this day, between Resident Evil Village and Gran Turismo 7, I think are the two best games out on PSVR2. There's a lot of other games that you need to play and that are amazing, but absolutely highly recommend. Both Resis are a big thumbs up, says Andrew. Totally agree, man. We've also got Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted Full-Time Edition. Now, this is $20.99, but if you have PlayStation Plus, it is an additional 10% off, which brings it to $17.99. I'm going to give a big thumbs up recommendation for Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted Full-Time Edition. Honestly, on PSVR 1, it was the scariest game I had played since Resident Evil 7. I am not even joking. So I don't know. Maybe everyone's different. I think it is absolutely terrifying, though, but was also a great game, a lot of fun, very stressful, but really great. So huge thumbs up for that. This one's a little bit different. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Help Wanted 2, is $27.99 or $23.99. I'm gonna have to give a pass for this one for now. I'm gonna have to pass on giving a recommendation or not. If my gut instinct would tell me that yes, if you've played the first game and you liked it, then you're likely going to be safe getting this one as well. But I can't really comment on Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because I've only played it for about probably 30 minutes total. What I played was pretty good. I don't think it was quite as good as the first game from what I've played, but it was good. So if you're desperate for something for spooky season, then yeah, sure, I would recommend it. Next, we've got Switchback, the Dark Pictures Switchback VR for $17.99 with PlayStation Plus is an additional 10% off I think that says 10%. Yes, I've got an eye patch on, you guys. It's hard to read, and my vision's not good. I also wear glasses usually, so I'm just making this really hard on myself. $17.99, another 10% off brings it to $14.99 for Switchback VR. Yes, big thumbs up for $15. I would highly recommend Switchback VR. Biggest drawback with Switchback is that the second half of the game I was not a big fan of. I think the second half of the game is really boring, but you get an hour and a half of really, really excellent game, and then you get a really great horde mode, which is like an endurance arcade shooter thing, which I think is a lot of fun. You get more roller coastery events, and you get a nice challenge, replay value, and you finally get a better experience with the don't blink enemies. So would recommend it for the first half of the game and the horde mode alone. Next, we've got Among Us VR is $5.99. I'm not a big fan of Among Us. It's not a bad game, maybe, but I'm going to say pass on this. Unless you just love Among Us and already know, you maybe already have it because it's pretty cheap. Yeah, not a bad deal, but for my recommendations, I'm going to say pass. I got bored with it real quickly. Kind of all downhill from here, it looks like. Definitely going downhill from here. Well, for some of it. Next we have Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. No, hard pass. I would actually say I don't care what the price is. I didn't like this game really at all. Ghostbusters is fun for about an hour, and then it gets really boring, and I never wanted to touch it again. It's a huge disappointment. Phasmophobia in its current state, I would recommend Phasmophobia in its current state over Ghostbusters. I like Ghostbusters is way more polished, better graphics, better production values, everything. I would still recommend Phasmophobia in its current state over Ghostbusters. So let that sink in. Kill It With VR. No, I didn't really like this game. It's not really necessarily bad, but I didn't think it was fun. It's boring. Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game. This game is a great game, but it's not a good spooky season game. So I'm going to say no. Broken Edge, also not a spooky season game. No. And then finally, this brings us to the probably biggest piece of shit on the PSVR library, and that is Horror Adventure VR. Even for $1, I'd not buy that for $1. Big no to Horror Adventure VR and any of those Space Adventure VR. Those are the biggest pieces of shit in the VR space. They're shovelware, so avoid all those. But again, if you need something, go and get Resident Evils if you haven't. Go and get Five Nights at Freddy's if you haven't. Go and get Switchback. Those are the best games from this sale that I can see from this screen. I don't know if this shows you everything. But yeah, man, that is it, you guys. Woo! We made it through. Happy Halloween, but don't go anywhere because we are going to be coming back here soon with a spooktacular stream of some Phasmophobia, maybe some Madison, maybe some Hellsweeper, Metal Hellsinger. We're gonna play just have some fun with some random spooky games, and if all goes well, it will not go well for me. But yeah, guys, happy Halloween. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you, Sal and Nihilus Ryan, my metal feline friend. Thank you guys so much for the generous donations, man. Keeping the lights on and really, really supports the channel a lot. You guys always go above and beyond. I appreciate you, along with these people down here like Silver Nexus, Jim Peruna, Danorama. Wait, he's not still a Patreon support. This is outdated. I'm so sorry. Glacius Dreams. All you guys, man, I appreciate your support as always. I love you guys. I'll have something a little bit different that I'll be covering on the channel pretty soon. Some thoughts that I want to share. And it's going to surprise some of you. And let me tell you, it surprised me. So I will definitely be sharing that news pretty soon. I got a really special gift from a really special group of people. And it was amazing. It was a huge surprise. And I'll definitely be sharing my thoughts on that soon. I'm also currently going to be playing Redacted over the weekend, and we'll be sharing with that as soon as I can. And yeah, man. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who came out here and just wanted to hang out, have a good time, celebrate Halloween together. I love you guys. I appreciate you. You're the absolute best. You are the best supporters, best community. I am incredibly lucky to know each and every one of you. So thank you for celebrating my favorite day, my favorite month of the year with me, as you have all month long. I love you guys, man. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Be spooky. Get some candy. Drink some good Oktoberfest beer. And I'll see you again very soon for our spooktacular stream. You guys take it easy.